All right, Coach. First event of the year for your young group. Talk about how things went for you.
Well, we discussed going to this tournament that it was going to be some of the nation's best teams. So we knew that we were in for an uphill battle. And, I think the girls went into it with the right mentality, though, knowing that this was going to be a really tough test in the very beginning. We didn't have kind of a tournament to kind of get our feet wet. We just kind of jumped right into it. So, I think the girls' mentality was really good. I think that we all approached it the right way. And, it was a little tough. The first day, we played two teams that were inside, the top 30. And, it's kind of tough because, we're very accustomed to coming home with lots of wins and very few losses. So it was a little bit of a learning curve for us with the first couple of days. But, I think we responded really well. When you have a young group of players, when they go to a tournament, it's easy. It's very easy to, take it on the chin the first day and be like, well, you know what, we're just not good enough. And they didn't. And that was something I was really proud of because, in the previous interview that we had, I talked about I just want to see how well we compete. And they did exactly what we asked. So, I came home excited. I know the girls are excited. So, it's definitely a learning curve.
Sometimes the team results aren't always in the win column. And from a experience standpoint, from a competitive standpoint, talk about how the team did this weekend.
From a competition standpoint, it's easy to look at all the scores from the past weekend and you see that we lost a lot of matches. That's very easy. But if you look at the score lines, you didn't see that many 6-1s. I mean, you saw a lot of 6-3, 6-4, 6-5s. It's a new format. It's first to 6 games now with a tiebreaker at 5-all. We split sets a lot of times. We split sets and won some, and we split sets and lost some. So if you look at the score lines, you see a lot of really good things coming out of that. Saying that we were competitive. It's one thing to go up there and lose 0-0, 1-1, something like that. We just didn't do that. We were very competitive, even though we didn't win some of those matches. So from that perspective, I'm really excited because it's not like, we just went up there and just got it handed to us. We were competitive with the top 30 teams with a different lineup than what we'll even have in the spring. So, if you look at that from a coaching standpoint, you're excited. So, It was interesting. It was like I said earlier, it's not something we're used to, but I'm just so proud of the girls how they responded to it. The third day of the tournament rolled around, and most teams are going to throw in the towel. They've had 2 days of losses. They've played 3 sets. They didn't go their way, and my team came out against a team that would finish last year at number 27 in the country, and we lost 4-3. 4-3 to that team with this lineup, and EPEC was not even in the lineup for the past 2 singles matches. So what does that say to you? What does that say? That says that you've got a team that could have just went out there and said, you know what, let's just get this over with, but they didn't. They dug their heels in, and they kept fighting. I stood there that third day, and I was blown away with what I saw. I was really impressed with the fight that the resilience that this team had. So I'm really excited. The coaching staff were excited because, like I said, losing 4-3 to the number 27 team in the country who did well in NCAAs last year says a lot about us. And I told the girls, we met afterwards, and I said, you know what? We can look at it one of 2 ways. I can take you to tournaments where you come back 15-0 every time when you're the far superior team, or I can take you to tournaments where you're actually going to learn something from it. You may not get as many wins as you want, but you're going to learn something from it. They all agreed this is something we wanted to do, and this is something we're going to do in the future. So, I'm happy. I'm happy. The girls were fine. On the way home, we were laughing, cutting up, sending Snapchats to each other. So this team is going to be fine. We're already looking forward to Clemson and preparing for that tournament because that's another really tough tournament. So I'm proud of them. Again, the third day is the highlight of this tournament because we did such a good job. Such a good job after taking it on the chin for 2 days. So if you look at anything, if you're a fan and you're looking at the scores, look at the last day and look what these girls did. And, then you'll be impressed.